Ethics is the study of right and wrong, how we decide what we should do. But what happens when we doing the right thing causes harm? Imagine this. You have to lie to save someone's life. Would you do it? Today, we're comparing two major moral theories, Kantian ethics and utilitarianism, to see how they answer that question. My name is Camila Encinas, and this is my project for ethics. So, Immanuel Kant believed morality isn't about results, it's about doing our duty, no matter the consequences. Act only according to that maxim which you can will to become a universal law. In simple terms, before you act, ask, what if everyone did this? If you wouldn't want that, then don't do it. Would you want everyone to cheat? Kant says lying, stealing, or cheating is always wrong because it breaks a universal rule. Even if it helps someone, it's still wrong. Utilitarianism, developed by philosophers like Jeremy Bentham and John Stuart Mill, focus on outcomes. An action is right if it brings the greatest happiness to the greatest number. This idea is called consequentialism. The rightness of an action depends on the consequences. If lying creates more good than harm, it's the right thing to do. Utilitarianism is flexible. Sometimes breaking a rule is okay, but only if it helps more people.
So if you tell the axeman that your friend is not in the house when he is, and your friend then sneaks out the back door and bumps into the axeman, anything that then happens is, to some extent, your responsibility.
So, Kantian ethics is follow only the rules, motive matters more than results, never lie or cheat, clear and consistent, no matter the consequences. And utilitarianism, it follows the rules but only if it leads to good outcomes. Results matter more than motives. Lie or cheat if it leads to more happiness and is flexible but sometimes risky. Kant's theory is strong and principled, but sometimes too rigid.
Tell the truth is what Kant called a categorical imperative, an absolute duty, one without exceptions. It applies to everyone, whatever the consequences.
Utilitarianism is practical, but it can justify some questionable choices. So, if Kantian says stealing is wrong no matter how desperate you are, breaking moral law is injustifiable, utilitarianism can say if you steal the medicine, you save a life. One act of death creates more good than harm.
But if you told the truth, then the consequences for your friend, no matter how grisly, should not be on your conscience. This brings out how different his moral stance was from utilitarianism, the philosophy that you should do whatever brings about the greatest happiness. A utilitarian would think about the consequences of telling the truth or of lying. In contrast, for Kant, some actions were just wrong, even if good consequences might flow from them.
So, now that we have cleared these two type of rules, what would you do if you had to lie to save someone else's life? I personally would lie because it's someone else's life. It doesn't matter the lie, of the gravity of the lie you're gonna say. You are gonna save someone's life. Like, maybe it wasn't his fault, or maybe it was, but I don't know. It's kinda, I would choose utilitarianism because it justifies, but it's flexible. So yeah, I think just a simple lie can save someone else's life and is a good act. Thank you for your attention.